creating music, right, Joshua?
Right.
Have you heard anything about that?
Yes. Like.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Like for example, I saw this really cool reel or a TikTok, whatever you call it, where they took Michael Jackson's voice from a song that he made a long time ago, and AI took it and put it into a new song today, which is pretty crazy because it sounds very accurate.
Right. So if somebody does that, or who is profiting from that?
The person that made it.
Right. Okay, so we're back to that. Hold on just 1 second. I want to go real quickly. We're doing a great job here. But I want to move into the imagery metaphor a little bit. Number 7. How do romantic poets use natural imagery to evoke emotion?
Natural imagery?
Yes. Why do they go back to nature to try to make a point?
It's more calming than... My fault. I thought he was talking about the question.
Sorry. Group number 7. Okay. How and why do romantic authors, use nature, pro or con, whether in a positive way or a negative way, to evoke emotion? And why do you think that is? Give her just a second. Think about what we did. Did we all go outside? Yes. Yes. Think about how many ranges of emotions on a typical Tuesday do you feel while sitting in the classroom?
Sitting in the classroom.
Yeah, sitting in the classroom.
Stress.
Okay, and?
Anxiety.
Okay, and? Anything else?
Anger.
Anything good? Anger. Okay, great. Anything good? What did you feel when we went outside to have class last week?
It was very calming and peaceful,
All right.
and I just felt like I could let go of everything.
Okay.
Just focus on what's in front of me.
Do you feel that opens up emotional doors or intellectual doors? Is it possible? I mean, Socrates, right here, would do a lot of these exercises outside. They were not indoor people when they were learning.
Yeah, I feel like it can open people up to being more vulnerable and discussing more.
That is the perfect word. Vulnerable. Every single piece of writing, well, not every single piece, but most of the writing I had that you guys turned in on that day, people started opening up, seriously opening up. I mean, I had people who were sitting there and they just started looking down and started crying. Or, I mean, they got teary-eyed. Obviously not everybody, but I had 4 or 5 that really took it to heart. So there you go. Nature can evoke emotions. What about, is a wildfire in the forest nature?
Yeah.
Yes. Is that a real happy-go-lucky emotion? No, it can still be used, right? Darkness evoked what kind of emotions, Brian? Sadness? Fear? I mean, that's like a heavy metal song written in 1819, right? You could put that to lyrics. You probably have a top 40 hit. Okay, let's go number 2. Compare the use of metaphor in the 2 works. How do they shape the reader's understanding of nature or emotion? Number 2.
Were both poems were completely different. Like one was light, one was dark. I think
Okay.
the metaphors in darkness were more serious.
Oh, yeah.
Like they meant more, in a sense. I don't know how to describe it.
Like they almost wanted you to feel it.
Yeah, they wanted you to like understand.
Describe it in detail. So
Yeah,
you can, understand
yeah.
it better.
It was like more in depth. Like both of them want you to feel it, but I feel like darkness wanted it to be. You should know the dark side of like what was going on. Yeah.
I mean, it was desolate.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, scientifically now we know it's not possible, but if the sun is gone forever, there's not much hope, right? So people would just metaphorically and maybe literally eat each other alive.
Yeah.
So Excellent. How did 10 turn Abby evoke emotion? Anyone who hasn't touched it yet? Bella.
Just in general, how
Yeah. What was the two things they were really going for? One was,
well, it was really about nature and like peacefulness.
mm-hmm.
And it kind of talked about wanting like society to go back to being appreciative of nature instead of just like technology, indoors, industrialized stuff like that. So it kind of almost had like a nostalgic.
Yes, okay. Yes, that's the word I was waiting for. Good. Nostalgia. Thank you. That was the number one emotion that was evoked. This place was evoking memories, good, sad, indifferent. I don't know, both. I think good and sad. Weighed a lot into the concept of aging and change. And although it had a lighthearted tone, there was some angst that was involved in that. If a romantic, okay, this was a hard one. If a romantic poet were write about today's world, how might they use imagery, metaphor, or personification to convey their perspectives? Imagery, metaphor, personification. I'm going to ask somebody for one each. Today's world. Take a couple of minutes. Think about how the world is today. I have a couple of words that Okay, imagery.
They would probably use like waterfalls or like some sort of water just for like chaoticness and
Okay.
just,
Like rapids?
yeah, like they would use everything.
Everything's rapid.
Rapid. Thank you. That is excellent. The number one I would have chose was speed. Everything in our entire world is fast. No one can slow down. I can't even slow down my brain at night. I usually lay in bed for over an hour just because I cannot stop. Too fast. Okay, somebody else for imagery?
Can I add something to that?
Right after Bailey.
I was gonna say, something like broken,
Okay.
just because of how, chaotic and partially broken I think that the world is nowadays.
Okay.
Just
There's-
because of how we've lost the traditional way and in my opinion, the correct way to do things.
Okay. So we've lost cohesion, yes. The divides between groups of people are widening. Yes, ma'am? Addie?
Oh, going back to water, like not just like fast moving and chaotic, but like it could change. So like water can change so much without you even noticing until years later, until it's too late, and then you have like a canyon in the middle of nowhere.
The word you're looking for is erosion.
Yes. And,
Okay, so society is fast,
And eroding.
breaking, it's eroding. Yes, Trey?
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
You never know what's gonna be happening tomorrow, so.
Right.
It's like
Well-
a river, you never know how a river's how it's gonna bend around the terrains. One year it's gonna be going one way, the next year might be going a different way, you never know.
I think, has life always been pretty unpredictable?
Yeah.
But because of the concept that you actually came up with, because of how fast it's moving, because it's eroding so quickly, we get information every second of every day. Does that erosion speed up or slow down? I mean, does that information and unpredictability, it speeds up, right?
Yeah, it always speeds up, it very rarely slows down if it does at all.
The very worst thing I do every morning is wake up and immediately check my Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm in a bad mood all morning because I see what's going on in the world. It's okay. Good job. Metaphors. You guys got good imagery. Kind of you hit the metaphors too. Is there anybody else who can put a metaphor, you know what it is, into today's society succinctly? So and so or such and such is a blank without any unnecessary vulgarity. We're going to go with Mr. Alcantar. Yep.
Okay, so you guys play with it, right? So, the world is kind of, it's not bad, but it's a bit bad. So think of like a You gotta think about it like this, right? A metaphor. Let me think of a metaphor for it.
It's hard.
It is hard because the metaphor is harder than the symbol.
Think about the words they just used: speed, erosion.
It's like, metaphorically, it's like, I can't think of a metaphor for this.
I'm gonna give you a little bit. You have a friend?
Phone a friend?
You have a phone a friend? You two can.
I like Brian.
Brian. Okay, phone a friend. Take a couple of seconds on this one, and yeah, a metaphor for today's world.
I think that darkness was like this hyperbole of like the man-made world that like came out of the Industrial Revolution, like where everything that we do has like a negative effect, like even if we don't see it, like everything we do has a negative effect, and darkness was like in a really exaggerated like version of that.
Do you think it's obviously it's more exaggerated than today?
Yeah.
Do you have like something you can compare today to complete that metaphor?
Literally anything, like just everyday life, the way we
Politicians are.
destructive and greedy
Give me something that's destructive and greedy.
humans.
Something other than humans.
War.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
War is destructive, no?
I think Ozzy Osbourne said it best when he wrote the song War Pigs.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay. Politicians have little concern, so he was calling them war pigs. All right, good. That's a very interesting point. Thank you. What connections? Okay. What do contemporary perspectives on nature reflect romantic ideals? Think about the next couple of things and see if you can give me some ideas. Modern environmental movements, modern literature, or modern media? Any of the people here at the table, I'll call on and I will call on two people from the Peanut Gallery. Hold on just a second.
Can you repeat that question again?
How do romantic movements sort of reflect today's modern equivalents, like the environmental movement, how it affects literature today, if you have any examples, or how media is presented? Just see if you have any ideas, because it is actually way more common than you think. Unfortunately, we lived in a split screen society where you only see one half of everything. Yes.
Okay, so with the nature aspect, you always see, like, you always hop on the news, and, like, no matter, like, every time, whether it's spring, fall, or whatever, you always hear about how California is on fire.
Well, yes.
And how everybody is just really sad in California. And I feel like it's very similar to darkness of how,
Okay.
how you know, I don't know how everybody is, but it's all such despair because of the sun disappearing.
Right. Okay, just real quick aside, let's think this through. Darkness was about the sun burning out. Why is there wildfires in Southern California all the time?
It's because the sun is calm.
Right. What do they not have nearly enough of? Water, rain, right? It's a dry. Somebody built a giant city in the middle of a desert, and their only source of water is